Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello, world. Let's jump straight into something that we feel inspired by. We think it will inspire you because for sure it inspires us. So please,
And that's in our space. It is
Sure.
in our space. So we might as well just dive in and clear it for ourselves as well. All right. Let's just put our hands on heart and take a deep breath and let go of expectation, wanting to look good, attachments to outcomes, to certain futures and certain realities. Let's just, with each breath, pull ourselves into the now and into the present moment. Let go of the tightness. And I invite you to actually travel through your body with your breath. Just follow it. Get present and be with us and slowly come back. Before we dive in, Alessia, what's there for you?
what is there for me is I got connected to a bit of tension here and there that I was feeling in my body, and I was not aware of until I went searching for it. And it was good to just release it. And becoming present, it was like just a moment like that, a thought, remembering that the last days I was more doing things for other people. And it made me so tremendously happy. Without agenda. It's not like I planned, you know what, today I'm going to do this and that. Just life came, invited me, and I said, yes, let's go and do that. And bringing that happiness to other people, peacefulness, a moment of calm in their day, made me very fulfilled. And I got connected to maybe this how it feels to have a purpose. Because purpose is always about others. So it's good. It's good. And for you?
I think that just pulling myself back in to here, that's what was really needed and wanted. Because as I've shared with you earlier, I've had a lot of noise in the past couple of days in my head. And there has been a lot of discoveries, dealing with the noise, fixing it, trying to make sense out of things. And it's emotional, it's confronting, and it's wonderful because it is the space where you find myself expanding. It's just that it's not always comfortable. Actually, it's always uncomfortable. A couple days ago was that I spent the day judging people. And I judged people for not stepping up, for not stepping for other people, for being stingy with their time, with their words, in the context of this development and growth seminar and program. And I was actually hit by that. It was so loud, my judgment towards them and even towards me, how I was not able to make a difference with them. I talked to them and I couldn't move them where it's best for them to be. And so, because of course I know what's best for you, Alessia. Don't you know that? And so that the judgment was so loud. And I remember I sent you the message and I was like, this is an unfamiliar feeling for me. I don't know myself to be judgmental. I know myself to be a space for people. And you told me, you were like, no, it's, consider it's always been there. You're just now becoming aware of it. And then I get this coaching call yesterday and we discussed that. And yes, and I see how sneaky that part has been in my life. And with some people, it has been more so. And I mean, when I want to fix someone or fix myself, when I say fix, it's like right away, I see something or someone and I think, oh, if that was that way, or if that was this way, then it would be so much better for that person or for this or for that. That is already a judgment, like me not being with the person, with the situation as it is, me not being okay with it, right? But I never saw it as a judgment. I know I always saw it That's how sneaky it is. It's because it's under this noble feel good feeling of I'm here to help you, to support you. When in fact, when in fact, I don't accept you the way you are in that moment, and I want you in a different way. And whether it is, and I can see it can come from my work, playing piano, you are constantly in that space of making things better and never being okay, never settling in for the sound, for the technical ability or this or that. So you're constantly improving, constantly trying to perfect it. And then that shows up everywhere else. But that gives no space to anyone to be with me as they are.
Wow.
And so then the question that I'm exploring now for myself is, with me in that space, with you and me, is the space becoming smaller or bigger? What kind of space am I holding? And that's very uncomfortable because I see that me, myself, the way I see it's tight. And so, how could you have space to be you and to explore if I'm that space of, the filter of there's this to fix, there's that to fix, and constantly in that relationships? If How would it be to be in a relationship with a person, man, woman? Let's talk even romantic. Let's get precise. How would it be to get into a relationship with a person, knowing and accepting and being happy and okay where and who they are
Right
in
now.
that moment? Because I don't know that I've ever been with that. Definitely, I can relate to where I can see that I was somewhat cautious. No, I was with that person or that person with the idea of who they could be and how could they match where I want them to be, and thus constantly trying to fix them, constantly trying to get them and put them on the same road as me or where I thought they needed to be, and thus never really giving them the space to actually be who they are, express and be okay with themselves in my space. And so there's just no future for that in that. And I'm trying not to make it wrong because it is what it is, right? And what it is not. And at the same time, that awareness just shifts something. Me being with you, I'm gonna bring that awareness where I'm with you. It's easier in a way because I can be and you can be. We have this very safe space, but I don't have that with other people, right? So exploring who I get to be in the present moment and what do I get to bring other than judgment in all its sneaky ways. And I don't know all of the facets yet.
So, what is it different, Irma, with what you have with me and what you have with other people? What's the difference between those two? What do you have with me that you don't have with them?
Trust. There is trust. And also I think the filter that I have for you and me, that belief that we came together for a reason,
Mm.
right? And that where you are is exactly what's needed and wanted for me where I am right now. Because where you are, it doesn't need to be fixed, but it's actually, and sometimes there are things where it still shows up, of course. But most of the time, it is that accepting where you are because it actually supplements and nurtures the me that where I am.
Well, in first place, it's freshly discovered. You're seeing that there was always a judgment there, but you can see just now just how much it is and how present it is. So it's a shock, and you cannot accept it just like that right away. So let's be real there, okay? And let's not abuse ourselves and bulldoze ourselves into accepting something we just discovered. So it's like discovering something hot, and no, right away you put your hand on it. No, you will not. You will not, because it's dangerous for now. And I don't know if discovering, okay, how much it is there, 1 kilogram or 10 kilograms. It's there, baby. And it creates some disconnection. I want to ask you, what do you get out of that? What do you get out of judging people, your people? And don't you think that I'm not doing it too? I think I'm the queen of judgment. And we'll talk about that, but please tell me.
What I think what I get, and again, there might be more to it, but I I don't get to take responsibility in the present moment.
Can you tell more about taking responsibility in the present moment?
If something or someone needs fixing or is not there, or it's first of all, it's not my fault. It's them. Alessia, you're just not the person for me. I can clearly see that. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes that might be the case. It's when you meet someone where they are, let's say we met and we want to be girlfriends, like friends, and I see where you are. And without trying to judge or fix or this or that, or imagine where you are, a man, oh, we met and oh, here is this potential. Rather than potential, if I am with that, then I get to have this clear picture. Does that version, wherever the person is, does the Alessia of the now fit in a way? Do I want to be with that Alessia? Do I want to continue knowing that person and investing in that person
Yeah.
where they are versus where I want them to be? So that just like weeds out a lot of extra noise that's not needed. And then when I say I don't get to be responsible, when I'm busy fixing and imagining and all of this, I'm not in the present moment. I'm always fixing something for the future. So I'm always somewhere else except for here. And here needs tending to. The here needs to be present and to be with, and I'm not. And it's a really good excuse because it's for the best of the situation or the person or this or that. So I think avoidance of and then also not being okay, just simply what I'm getting is like I get to be right.
Mm, okay. Okay. That feeling of
Righteousness.
righteousness.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm better in a way. I know more than you. I've done this. You're not where you need to be. You should go with what I say.
So you're better than those people.
In some ways, and don't get me wrong, yes and no, because I also fall very much on the opposite of it. No matter where they are, I also fall for, oh my God, this part of that person is just so magical. I wish I could be them. So I have this duality constantly because I fall for everyone. I always see them so big. I think that's why it's hard. I see them, this like potential of the bigness or what parts of there that's big, and I want them to just step into that. And then I make them wrong because they don't.
But it feels like you have an image of already how a big person looks like if they are not big.
To the specific person, most likely, not just one. But yeah, yeah, of course. Scan. All right, done. It takes seconds. Maybe it doesn't take seconds. Actually, I observed that pattern for me. I meet up, and maybe you can hear this because I've shared a lot of this, and it's recent that I'm looking at it. I meet a person, and I'm like completely like, wow, that person is magical and amazing, and I completely, and it doesn't matter girl or boy or man or it doesn't matter who it is, and I see them, and I'm like completely like, wow, 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 wow.
Mhm.
The time goes by, and I get present how much I inflated the image of the person,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, okay, well, oh, there's this there, and then I start fixing, and then I do usually, not I have to, but I balance these things out, but it's a process for me, and I can see how I always do that. Whether it's
Yeah.
my teachers, it's so obvious. My teachers were the ones, our coaches. It's like a new flavor that I had to I love it. I want to eat it all the time. That new flavor of a chocolate that you're just and then you're like, oh, when I start tasting really, it's like, oh, there's this too much sugar or too much this or
Yes. You know, your mom, what thank you for sharing that. I'm present to how big our egos are, mine and yours. We are so arrogant and we see people, most of them, inferior to us. And yes, I know that you meet someone and you're impressed by them, then you put them on a pedestal. And I told you to stop doing that. Stop putting humans on pedestal. I discovered for myself that I was judgment. It was a shock. I just remember because I started after I giving birth to my kids, I started being very present to myself. I started doing the therapy and all these exploration, self exploration and discovery. And I was with the father of my daughter. We were talking about something, and he looked at me and he said, "You are so judgmental." He said that to me in my eyes. You are so judgmental. It was the first time. Maybe people told me before about that, but it was the first time that I could hear. Right? I couldn't sleep. I stayed with that because I couldn't, I never saw myself like that as being judgmental. And then I looked back and I was seeing how much I was judging people. And not only in my head, I was actually talking badly about people with other people. So I was very judgmental. And that doesn't mean, it stopped. I'm not judgmental now. I also have judgment, and sometimes it's very loud, just like you had the last weekend, very loud in my head. But I'm not hiding it anymore in a way, and I'm not ashamed of it. Although I want it gone. Yes, I'm not fully acceptant of my judgmental. Yes, there is resistance to my judgment. And then I also discovered something about judgment, that this energy, it's one energy manifesting on different frequencies. Now, at the lower frequency, the same energy manifests as judgment. But if you increase the frequency, it comes in the world, or it comes to you, or occurs to you like a different energy, like a gift, I would say. I'm talking in the terms of Gene Key's system. And it's now it is the gift of integrity. And
Tell me
if
more
you
about. I'm not sure I'm understanding what you're saying.
You see, when I come to you and I tell you, Irma, you just did that short and you did it in a very bad way. And I don't know, just look at that. And you feel it that I judged you and I express it to you with judgment. Now, if I come to you and I tell you, Irma, let's see what we can do or what you can do to increase the quality of that short. So it's, we bring better quality to our public and to ourselves. So let's explore. Can you see that I'm talking about same subject with different frequencies and different energies? So you feel it. And you felt it if it was integrity that you were dealing with or if it was judgment. But you know what requires to see that? Honesty. A lot of honesty. Honesty to yourself.
Yeah. Honesty, I want to say honesty comes with awareness. Then you, at least once you're aware, you can choose. Without being aware, there is no choice.
Yes. And then we went a bit far from what I asked, and you never really answered. And I feel like there is some avoidance about it. And I will tell you what it brings me judgment. When I'm judgment,
What did you
because
ask?
I asked what it gets you. Okay,
I
to
did
not be
tell you that.
responsible. Yes,
And
to be right.
yeah,
But I think there is more than that. There is a deeper layer. For me personally, what brings me judgment is disconnecting me and pushing people far from me. I make sure they are far from me because if I judge you, oh baby, you'll be very far from me. And now, if you're far from me, you cannot come close to me and you cannot hurt me. Because if you're close to me, you can hurt me. Do you see it?
I don't see that for me.
But
Yeah.
what is your
Yeah, I
version?
can see. Well, I think it's just really that in a way. No, I mean, really, you're
Yerma,
right.
what happens when you, with that people that, okay, let's get that.
Why I keep fixing. Oh, I don't give up. It's not like, oh, you're not worthy of it and bye bye. I just keep fixing.
But is there connection between you and them, or there is complete disconnect?
Well, right now I will explore that in the moment of non-awareness.
Yeah.
It's like sliding. It's like, yeah, where there's non-understanding why there is no connection. I get why there is no connection now, but in that moment, no, there is. I can think of in the past, I could not understand. It doesn't even occur to me that the idea of why wouldn't they want that? I'm so right. And I so know what's best for them. I know what's best for you, Alessia. And why wouldn't you just trust me and jump into it? So there is, in a way, this making them small, of course, because they don't know what they're doing, and then there's disrespect.
And you know better. Thanks
Oh,
for your
yeah,
presence in my life. I don't know what I would have done without you. The savior, Ilka. The
arrogance,
savior, Lesa.
arrogance. Yeah.
Big one.
So yeah, I think in a way it's the opposite. It's almost like I attach to myself to those projects and then I don't want to fail. I want them to get where they need to get. There's attachment to the outcome, to the person that I see they could become, to the situation that I see that it could become, but it's not. So now I will just go head to head and work hard and just try to make it happen.
Yes. And they say that the judgment of others is the reflection of self judgment, the judgment of the self.
Oh yeah.
And now, what is the thing that you judge the most about you? Because, of course, we're not going to do the list. Probably there's a huge list for both of us. But what is the thing that you judge the most about yourself, Irma?
I judge everything about myself. The
Tell me the
appearance.
most one.
Oh, just not, don't know enough, not good enough. It's always that. By default, it's always that. And so see, then I feel justified. See, I'm learning every day. I'm working on it to fill that gap. Of course, there is no filling that gap. And then when I don't see the other person doing the same, then there is a huge judgment there. Don't you see how much work you have to do? Come on.
But essentially, you're just talking to yourself.
Oh, yeah. I mean, once
Yeah.
you get awareness, of course. By default, I started to accept that whatever shows up in other person that triggers me, I always have to just pause and look inside myself because that trigger, when I have this snapping reaction internally, my
Yeah.
body reacts. There is something in there that's speaking to me. It has nothing to do with what the person is saying or who the person is.
So, how is it to live a life? Yes, tell me.
And that is also a trap because I can very easily, and I can think of one main relationship where I can start blaming myself and always trying to fix myself from that perspective where, like, I could not make a difference in this relationship. I could not fix us. I could not do this. And so there's something wrong with me and I need to get better. I need to get bigger. And then I take it all on me because, well, if the other person is not doing the work, but now I am, and I can take it on for both of us. So it's a trap as well. And if I was really aware of it, I could just see that the person is where they are, and where they are and where I am, just they don't match. And then I will have to give it up. I literally had a dream about that last night. But then I will have to give it up. And I will have to be with the fact that that relationship, the actions taken and not taken, they just failed. And trust the universe that it was meant to be that way. And stop just fighting it.
Sometimes I choose consciously to be in the judgment, and it's so good to be there.
Oh yeah. Righteousness. That feeling right
Exactly.
and juicy.
So that's what I want, in this podcast for us to be honest. Yeah, I feel so freaking good to be sometimes in the judgment. It like bring me such a pleasure, a sick pleasure, but it's true.
Yeah, for sure. And you can feel. You talk about like yesterday I was judging and I can relate to how it's like, wow, my body, I'm feeling like it. Usually stress shows up in my stomach, right? And I'm like, wow, I can't breathe and this pain. And I wonder what it is. What did I eat? And what did I do? And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask whether or not you judge people because you judge people. Bring it up. Bring up the ugly truth.
I
Because
love the
you,
straightness.
whoever you are, wherever you are, you judge people.
Yeah.
Basta. Now, I invite you to discover, how does it look? It might look that you say that they are shit or this or that. It might look that you want to fix them. Mine is very sophisticated. I have good intentions for people and I want them to be better. How could you just not be in love with that. What
Exactly.
is
You know,
so
is Mother Teresa of
yes.
those days.
So discover for yourself and share with us, how does judgment show up? Is it sneaky? Is it covering up something? And then I invite you to just go through your day and just try it on, and see, how does it feel? And then maybe choose one challenge, whether it's a situation at work or home, or maybe one person that you discover that you've been judging in one way or another, and step out of that and just put on the jacket of love
Mm.
and try it on. I mean, this jacket might fit well or might not be yours with that situation or person. However, I'm sure that you'll discover something for yourself just by this tiny little exercise. And I'll take on the same.
I love this. And even if you observe and you discover that you judge someone and you don't want to put that glove of love, it's okay too. Can you just be with it fully without trying to do anything? Just be with it and be honest. That's all we want you. We want you to be honest and straight and gentle with yourself. Thank you so much. So, like and subscribe, be with us. We'll see you in the next one. And from our heart to yours, have a great one. Have a magical one. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.